What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the Black Podcast Show. Back at it again. Another Sunday. Y'all know I do this every single week. It's your girl Auchante. I am the host of the Black Podcast Show. Keep in mind, this is the only podcast online hosted by me, your girl Auchante. And today I happen to have a very special guest. I got my homegirl Jehnya Wright on the show today. Realtor and rapper.
Yes.
I don't know too many people that sell real estate and rap.
They go together, you know.
We're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to get into some motivation. Whenever I have a guest on the show, I expect them to hit my listeners with a little motivation that they can carry with them throughout the rest of the week.
Okay. Just hit me with it. She didn't tell me about this ahead of time. Since I'm a realtor, I will just say, don't feel like you're not prepared for your next blessing. There are so many people that I pre-qualify, or they say, hey, I just wanted to see about this. What can I do to take a next step? And they're already ready. So don't ever discount yourself. You may want to hold back or wait to do a certain thing or have a certain goal and you're kind of pushing it off. So I would just urge you this week, whatever that is, maybe think about it and not do that, because sometimes God has already prepared you and you don't even realize it. So just be more confident, and whatever you're trying to do, start pursuing it immediately. You may already be in that position without knowing.
Okay. Absolutely. I like that. Absolutely. So basically, you know what's so funny? That kind of piggybacks off what my guest last week said, jump in the pool, do it, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of a theme a lot of people are going with right now is take that step, take the chance.
Yeah, I've seen that ever since COVID too, to be honest. A lot of people got jump started in doing their businesses or pursuing different passions, just kind of having that extra time.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's part of where that mindset comes from. It's when things are just changing rapidly around you, you're kind of like, dang, I need to change too, or I need to do something I've been wanting to do too. So,
yeah, you can't be afraid of change. I'm going to say my motivation for this week is going to be, it is okay to fake it till you make it sometimes. And I think that with that comes, sometimes you have to build up the confidence as well as the consistency needed to actually step into the person that you are supposed to become. So confidence and consistency, they really go hand in hand. And I think sometimes if you don't feel that confidence, you gotta just fake it until you really feel it. And once you really feel it, you'll start accomplishing those things. But
definitely,
you have to be consistent at the same time. It don't mean just fake it and don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French.
I got you.
Hopefully nobody is watching this around kids or in church. But yeah, sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you can't fake the work. You can't fake actual results. You can't actually fake producing anything, but it's okay to fake confidence until you really feel it or until you actually make it. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet with that, and I think it kind of ties into what my guests have been saying as far as just do that thing that you've been thinking about doing, whatever it is that you've been plotting on or you've been wishing or willing, it's time to do it. And it's time to, if you're not confident enough to do it, it's time to fake it until you make it. You know?
Amen.
Absolutely. So we're going to do I'm actually going to ask you a few questions. I want my listeners to get to know you.
Okay.
And hopefully whoever you have watching, your followers, your people, they can kind of get to know the Black Podcast Show a little bit.
Definitely.
So, Jehnya, when I became acquainted with you on Facebook a while ago, you were actually promoting your debut project as a rapper.
Right, yeah.
And I only just realized that you also do real estate. I had no clue that you're a real estate agent.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Because I didn't. I've been following you, I think we've been friends for about a year maybe. And I had no clue you're a real estate agent. I didn't know you rap. But, how long have you been rapping?
Honestly, I've always been writing songs. So probably my whole life, songs and poems and movies. But I recorded my first song when we started being friends on Facebook.
Okay.
So probably last year around this time. I'm a fall babe, so I get real ambitious when the winter and the fall comes. I'm not a big summer person. So That's why my motivational things like just do it. Around this time every year, before the new year, I start to plan my next year.
Got you.
So, I was kind of getting ready in that mindset of a new year, like, why don't you try to do something you actually want to do? I was very unhappy around this time last year. And the main thing that always made me happy was writing, but it was like a secret thing. So I was like, well, you're not doing all the other things you want to do, so why don't you just go ahead and go full force with this since you have not? And I started recording music. I put out a freestyle, a Me Too freestyle, because I love Pharrell, around this time last year. And I was like, hey, I'm going to put out a project, and I just kind of went from there. So I think that we have a mutual friend that tagged me like, oh, this would be a good opportunity for you just starting to do music to be on the podcast. So around the time we became friends was around the time that I told people I was rapping.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You sent me like 4 of your songs and they was really good.
Thank you.
So I would have never thought that you just started rapping.
Yeah, you're right though about, the faking the confidence thing, because for me, I did write a lot of songs and like not being very wise. Some of those songs I gave to people, like I've written songs for artists and stuff, but saying things yourself like, hey, this is my experience was different. So the engineer will record me like, can you like give me some energy? Can you, so for me, I had to kind of fake confidence when I first started recording music, because he would be like, okay, run it back. Okay, run it back. Okay, run it back. Like, so I definitely feel where you were coming from that, and I appreciate that compliment too, but it took some time for that to be the case. I have like so many songs recorded to get to that place of sounding confident.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize how difficult that can be, just recording something that you wrote. You are actually lucky to have had an engineer that even cared enough to be like, hey,
shout out J Tubbs, shout out Coogee Recordings here in Dallas. Shout out Pretty Tae, she's another rapper, and she told me about him, and so I automatically went with him because she's a female rapper as well.
She's the one that got the, I understood the assignment. Is that her?
No, that's not
that's
her.
Tae Money. Never mind,
Tae,
my bad.
yeah.
Oh, my bad, Pretty Tae, no offense.
I never realized they were both Taylors. But no, so she and I, we're cool. And I was gonna help her write a song. I didn't help her write a song, so just to be clear, in case she writes all her own songs, I don't know. But I didn't end up helping her write a song, but I did go to a session with that intention. And he was just real cool with her, nothing weird. So I was like, I'm gonna record with him, and it's been the same.
Okay, you feel like he was,
it's been a good experience.
Have you had bad experiences with engineers or studios?
Not with studios, but with management, I did have a bad experience, and that's why I ended up not putting out my first project. So I kind of hit the ground running, because from writing songs for other people, I did kind of have some people on my page, that were songwriters, that were management, and they were like, oh, you're doing music now, like, cool. So I was networking, and I reached out to someone. We ended up building like a management relationship. It was not a good fit. I won't go too far into it, but that was a bad experience for me.
But what made it a bad experience without telling us, you don't have to say the person's name.
I like making money, You're not, like I said, I do music for fun. I enjoy it. I hope that it gets to a place that when I put out some music, I can just write music for others, or I can write movies for others, or I can make beats. I'm not social media super entertainer. For me, it was just, we didn't have a good understanding, I guess, of my goals. And since I had other ways of making money, if I'm going to make music for fun, you're not about to take all my money. So it was a misunderstanding.
What you mean by that? They wanted you to pay for their services, but you wasn't seeing any type of...
It wasn't any upfront payment. It was the cut was too big.
Oh, okay.
So, he was willing to pay for videos. He was really, or I should say is, because he still does music too. He is a really talented engineer and producer. Like, he makes beats. I have songs with his beats, even though I haven't put them out. But when we first started talking, we hit it off right away. He's a real cool person. So we kind of struck up a friendship. And I would ask him like, hey, how much are you going to charge me to record? How much are you going to charge me for this? How much are you going to charge me for this? And he would never give me an amount. But I know nothing is free,
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I'm just going to take a cut of this. I'm going to take a cut of this. And I'm like, okay. At first, it didn't seem like a lot. You know, but mind you, like I said, a lot of the beats I originally recorded on were YouTube beats that I found, so it's not like he sent them to me. All of the songs I wrote, I don't let anybody write on my songs. If that changes, I will say so.
Yeah.
So at this point, other than recording, which I could do with J Tubbs, what is he doing? So the cut that he wanted, I felt was unfair.
Okay.
And when it came down to it, we were supposed to shoot some videos, and he was like, you know, we never got that paperwork together. Let's go do that paperwork. I said, okay, cool.
So, okay, this
and then
is
it
after,
switched.
hold on. So this is after you done recorded all these songs and shot a video, I'm assuming, or you getting ready to shoot a video?
Yeah. Okay,
Wait,
so
which one? Is after or you getting ready to shoot it?
getting ready to shoot a video. So
But this is after you've recorded music with him.
yes, after I've recorded music with him. But mind you, like I said, I'm not done. You know, nothing. So I did my due diligence, just from a realtor perspective. I said, how much? You know, what's the fee? What's it gonna be? I didn't go to Atlanta like Boo Boo the Fool. Oh, I'm gonna record for free. It's gonna be, you know, that wasn't what I said.
But even with that being said, you asked, and he pretty much kind of was like, oh, no, don't worry about all that right now.
That's exactly what he said. You sound just like him.
But I'm saying,
don't worry about it.
And you let that, as a realtor though, you know paperwork is like the end all be all.
Exactly, and that's not my fault. So I told him. I said, do you want me to sign something? I said, I don't feel comfortable doing da-da-da-da. Let's sign something. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be fair. Like I said, like, he was a real cool person. So I'm not saying anything bad.
So you think the friendship kind of took a precedence?
I guess. It turned into something like I said, I just don't want to talk too bad about it because I do feel like he did have good intentions.
Okay.
But when it came down to it, we recorded a couple of songs. We re-recorded some songs that I already had recorded that just didn't sound confident. And I did verbally ask him multiple times, hey, I don't feel comfortable not having something, you know, done on paperwork.
Right. Because
of our friendship, he didn't really care about that. So then later on down the line, he started saying actual percentages. Right. And I said, this is why you should have gave me the paperwork, because I'm not doing it.
But then it's like kind of funny for you to say, oh, he didn't care because he was my friend. It sounds like he didn't want to tell you because he knew
that it was too much. And the thing is,
and
everybody
like, I got
knew
everything done already. You're going to have to just say, okay, whatever.
And for me, and I think that's the difference about someone who is like a writer artist and an entertainer artist. Because a writer artist can say, oh, well, never mind, because I can write all those same songs again.
Yeah.
An entertainer artist is going to think of like sweat equity. Well, I've already recorded. I've already, you know, practiced these dance routines. I've already started promoting it if they're super good with social media. All of those things that would kind of be like a waste of time, those are not my strong suits. So my strong suits are, you know, recording, writing. I feel like my personality, like I'm pretty relatable and kind of different than some of the girls that's out. You know, it is a lot of girls that are entertainers, and there's nothing wrong with that because they be entertaining me. But that's not my thing. I'm not like super dancer. I'm not like super club songs. So for me, I feel like the things that I bring, I can transfer those over to working by myself or working with somebody else. Whereas maybe if he was writing songs, which he did actually at one point try to write songs for me, that would be different because then it's like, dang, I can't take the songs.
Was he promoting you as an artist?
A little bit. He did not have like more of a following than me. He just started his company around the same time as me. So I don't feel like I gained anything transferable from him, to be quite honest. And that's why I don't feel badly about ending the professional relationship, because I didn't leave with videos. I did leave with 2 songs that I still like that he did produce, but it's very easy to give him writing credit and him still get, you know, things off of streaming services. Super easy if I decided to go that way. I may not put them out. And as far as connections, like I said, he's in Atlanta, so I'm not gonna purposely go and work with engineers and stuff that he's friends with. They probably know the situation as well. So there's no relationship really I've built, nothing, you know, that I got from that.
So where do you go from here as a rapper?
Where do I go from here? Independent, like all the rappers that I like. I only did one other interview other than you, and one question that she asked me that I realized after, she was like, what female artists, you know, really inspire you? And while there are some, like Nicki and stuff, I really like lifestyle rappers. I really like a lot of male rappers.
Okay.
I was just raised by my mom and my grandma, so I love male perspective. And growing up, I listened, you know, I'm West Coast, so
Yeah,
Dom, Nipsey, I listened to Currency a lot just because he was out at the same time. So it's always been in my mind, like, oh, I will do it by myself. I'll make more money by myself. I'll continue to get to be the person that I am. If I want my son to do something with me, he could. If I don't feel comfortable with something, I don't have to. So for me, all of these people being my favorite rappers, I just do independent things. I keep recording music with Jordan, with J Tubbs. I have somebody mix it. I have a studio at my house. I record. I write songs for other girls, little Insta baddies. I hit them up. I see you trying to do music. I got a song that's better than your song. I got a song that's gonna go for you, you know? And just go from there and keep it fun, because when I thought this—
But you don't promote yourself on social media.
I haven't, because it was something that, it made me really sad when that situation happened, to be transparent with you, because like I said, I wasn't in a good place. I got real excited to do something, then it didn't turn out how I thought. And then on top of that, I'm a mother, and I have a business already that is doing good. So, you know, when something is not going good, you just focus on the positive. So I started working more on my real estate again. I just kind of took focus off of that and just kept writing music for others. So now I'm in a space, like I said, I'm a fall bae, and it's fall again. So I feel like, you know, let me go ahead and put out this project that I didn't put out.
Okay. So you got something coming this...
The day after Thanksgiving, I'm putting out my first project. I'm very excited.
But you know it's November 7th today.
I'm aware.
Where the promotion at?
I'm a start. I got a photo shoot next week. I am the kind of person, I'm not that good with social media. I do feel like I could be better about it. But I will also say, sometimes it's not in your numbers. Sometimes it's those relationships.
Yeah.
I'm a very giving person. I feel like I'm very real. And I do have people that I talk to on social media and stuff, and I don't have a super lot of followers, but we'll just have that relationship. Like even me and you, we didn't really know each other, but I still end up on the show. And I don't be on social media all the time. And
I mean, but you got to think about it like this. Social media is the easiest, cheapest way to simply
that's true.
Put something out there, put a message out there. So even if you only have 15 friends on Facebook, if you let them 15 people know, like if I saw you post something like, hey, project dropping November 27th or whenever, I'm gonna share it just off the strength. I'm gonna listen to it, I'm gonna share it. If it's dope, I'm gonna put, y'all check this out ASAP, she went crazy, you know what I'm saying? So anybody can see it, and it's totally free. Or even if you just post it, you know, who can I tag when I drop this new project? Did y'all know I rap? Or anything like, and it gets attention, and you have people ready so that.
You're right.
You know,
I don't really have, you know, too much of a response for that. I'd be the kind of person like, oh, post my pick and go, or just like kind of hit them over the head with something. But you're right. If it is something I'm gonna be serious about.
And this is for anybody listening. You know, social media is literally just the best and most free way to, you know, put yourself out there.
You're right about it. Oh God, you'll see me on social media more. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
So follow me.
Absolutely.
It's spelled Jehnya, which is kind of unusual. That's on Instagram. It's just Jehnya, like Beyonce. It's
just Jehnya, like Beyonce.
And then
I
on
love
Facebook,
it.
it's Jehnya Wright. And if you add me, then I'll go ahead and route you to my real estate page too.
So let's get into that real quick. How did you get into selling houses? You said you've been doing that for about 4 years. Another thing that I never saw.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, that I told you I have a good excuse. So I didn't promote that on social media because when I first got here, I didn't have Texas friends online. So there was no reason to promote my business in a space where I couldn't help people. It was actually causing confusion when I did. People from Los Angeles or West Covina, my hometown, would hit me up like, hey, can you help me? And it's like, no. So when did I start doing real estate? I left California at 20. I went to New York. I got transferred to Dallas for the job I was doing at that time. Long story short, ended up pregnant unexpectedly, ended up deciding to stay here undesirably, and I needed a house. So I was really shocked. I was very shocked, like coming from Los Angeles prices, the pricing of homes in like 2016, 2017.
Well, you shocked in a good way or shocked that?
Shocked in a great way.
Okay.
Shocked in a great way. Like, wow, this is a great cost of living. You know, my family may not be here. This may not be where I expected to be, but this is a blessing for me. Like, I always wanted to own property. A lot of people don't know, like, and we're on the Black Podcast Show, but I love Black people. I love being Black. And all throughout high school, like when Instagram first came out, I used to follow that page, We Buy Black, a page called like Buy the Block, all these things like when they were kind of first starting. And also, I met a really great lady, I can't remember her name, but in Leimert Park. And she owned like an African storefront in LA. She was real cool. And we talked about real estate.
Okay.
So I remember even like working my first job, I used to tell my friends, and they would laugh at me like, I want to buy a mobile home. Because I knew I was moving out at 18, like based on my home situation. And I never wanted to rent. I did end up renting a room from somebody, but that's just like the running joke with my friends. Like I used to want to buy a mobile home because I wanted to own something so bad. So when I got to California, when I got to Texas and I was pregnant, I was like, I'm going to buy something.
Okay.
Wow, it's so cheap. Oh my gosh, I'm going to buy something.
Okay.
So, you know, I went on Zillow, went on Trulia, tried to like meet with a loan officer, tried to pre-qualify. I did meet a great loan officer. Her name is Courtney Gutierrez. She qualified me for my first home. And I didn't have the money. So she qualified me kind of based on my credit, based on my income. At that time, I was a flight attendant, but I didn't have like the down payment, the closing costs.
Okay.
So I did an online course to be a realtor, so that way I could use my 3% commission for my FHA loan. FHA loans are 3.5% down. So my commission pretty much covered my whole down payment. And then I used a down payment assistance program as a first-time buyer called T-Shack here in Texas. And that covered like my closing costs and the extra 0.5. So when I bought my first home, I came out getting $800 back, which is very cool.
So you sold yourself your first home?
I sold myself my first home. That's how I got into real estate, that long ass thing. I got into real estate to sell myself my first home. For me and my son, he was like 1 at the time.
How long did that process take though? So you saw a house you liked and you was like, let me take this real estate course right quick.
I'm glad that you asked that. So I didn't see a house that I like, and one thing that I want to tell people, because I'm not just a realtor, but I'm also a mortgage loan originator, meaning if you need financing for a home, I can finance you. I am the bank. I work with 20 different lenders, and I can get you pre-qualified and help you shop and represent your best interest as a realtor. So a lot of people do find a house that they like, and then they go get qualified, and then the house is gone. A lot of people reach out to a realtor first just because we are more prominent with branding, more prominent with social media. Everybody knows a realtor. Whether or not they're a good quality realtor, you do know one. You may know a loan originator, but you don't know if you know them. They be at home. So I would advise you find a loan originator first, before you find a house, before you find a realtor. Find a loan originator. Because like you said, did you find the house? How long was the process? You can find the house and then you can't pay for it.
Well, how did it happen for you?
For me, I didn't look for a house. I just wanted to know, do I qualify?
Okay, so she qualified you.
So I went on, I put my information on Zillow.
Okay.
For a realtor to contact me, he contacted me. He said what I said, first things first, go ahead and work with the loan originator. She's going to pre-qualify you. She pre-qualified me.
Okay.
And then she gave me the green light to look for a house and said, oh, call this at the realtor. I said, you know what? I'm actually like in process of taking this class because I don't have this money down.
Okay.
That's fine. Your pre-qual is good for 90 days. So for me, I reached out to a realtor. They redirected me to a lender. I got conditionally pre-qualified because technically they couldn't pre-qualify me because I didn't have cash.
Okay.
Then she pre-qualified me when I told her I'm about to be an agent and sell myself my house, so I will have the funds. And then she said, okay, you're good to start shopping. Then I started shopping. Here's another thing I'll say. The house I got, I did not want that house. I bought a house in Pleasant Grove. I did not want it. Because my whole thing for being in Texas, having a boy, was that West Covina is not bad. Covina is not bad. I'm not going to try to make it seem like I'm something I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm very familiar with LA. It is in LA County. Before I moved, I lived in Pomona. Pomona is kind of bad. And me having like a young black boy, I was like, well, I guess my son's dad is right. We'll just stay here so we don't have to live in a bad area. And then I go find this house and it's in a bad area. But it was the house that I could afford at that time.
Right.
And it was such a blessing that I got it.
Okay.
Because, you know, Dallas is going up, and that house is going up too. And my tenants are good. So get pre-qualified. If you want to get pre-qualified, hit me up. I'll pre-qualify you. And if you don't, I will help you and tell you areas and where you're lacking. And if it's, you know, a little too much, like not a quick fix, I can redirect you to a credit specialist that I work with. There are a lot of options. The best way to get what options are best suited for you, rather than like Googling or being in like first-time buyer groups, or asking your friends that bought a house but their financial situation is not like yours, and maybe they're acting like they have better credit than they do. Just hit up a loan originator, because even if it takes you a year to purchase, a good loan originator or a good agent will nurture you through that entire year and personalize the service for you, rather than you saying, oh, I'm not ready because I have a 520. Well, did you know you only qualify at a 580? No, I thought I need 620. No, you need a 580. Did you know if you pay this credit card, you'll be at a 540? Then you only need 40 points, you know? And those are things, I feel like it's a trick, like making people intimidated to buy a home, you know? And I don't want to say too much because of Tila Respa, like I have to be very fair to everybody, but I do feel like certain people are at a disadvantage for not realizing the benefits of home ownership and that they qualify a lot earlier than they think.
So have you been able to educate a lot of people on this since you've been here?
I would say so. I have a first-time home buyer class every month. Either in Arlington or Allen. You're welcome to join this month. There will be one on the 13th, November 13th, Saturday. It'll start at 12 p.m. I'll give my number at the end of the podcast, and you could text me an RSVP if you want to. You don't even have to follow my social media. It's free. There's refreshments, there's mimosas, and all of your questions get answered. It's never just a big class, so you know that's better for you. It doesn't matter how it looks. If it's 5 people, 10 people, you get to ask all your questions. And I do try, actually, something I've been trying to do, so if anybody is watching and has a resource, something that I really desire to do is talk to kids in high school. And not to pitch my services. I can't legally pitch my services if you're under 18, but I see so many TikToks and posts on social media about credit cards, about buying a house, about why don't we get taught about taxes in school. So I do feel like, you know, I owe that to my community to fill those gaps.
To talk to the younger generation before they
I would love to do Zooms. I would love to go out to high schools. I would love to go out to group homes. I'm scheduled to go out and talk to a domestic violence shelter so that those women that maybe have a background or something for something that wasn't their fault, if you have a background, you could buy a house easier than you could get an apartment. If your credit and stuff is good, they don't care about your background. The bank doesn't care. Just like how a lot of people will start their own business if they have a background because they don't care. So, you know, all of these are groups that I want to reach and speak to. It's very important to me. So
Perfect. So let's give people 2 more tips for like first-time buyers or somebody that may be interested in purchasing a home but not sure where to start. You already said that the first thing they need to do is get a loan officer originator.
A loan officer.
That's step 1. What else would you say? Give people like just 2 more tips for somebody that, like I said, is maybe interested but just not sure where to start.
Save money for sure, and don't save money in the fridge, in a shoebox, in the mattress. All of your funds have to be verifiable. So there are people that is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna babysit for extra money. I'm gonna Uber Eats for extra money. And then they have all these cash apps or all this cash, and if we can't verify, you can't use it. So make sure if your thought process is home ownership, track all your assets, track all of it. Secondly, I would say a lot of people, they think that qualifying for a house has to do with your credit score, how much house you can buy. How much house you can buy has to do with your income. So if you have a 580 score and you make $100,000 a year, you will qualify to buy a more expensive house than someone with a 760 and makes $30,000 a year. So that's why I tell people, don't stress so much about, I'm not prepared, I have to get my score this place, this is. All it affects is your interest. That will affect your payment somewhat. There have been times the market rate for interest has been higher or lower. Right now, it's so close. Like conventional average interest rate, and I'm not going to get too much into numbers after this.
Okay.
But conventional interest rates right now are on average like 2.5. FHA, so bad credit score, not to down anybody, is like 3. So just buy your house. If you want your house, just buy your house, and you could refinance later. Build your credit. Your score will go up when you buy your house, most likely. Just like how when you get a car, you get the note, and then it's like, oh my gosh, my score went up. So, you know, jump in the pool, like your last person said.
Absolutely.
Jump in the pool to get you a house. And if you jump in the pool and somebody who really cares about you, moving forward will give you a game plan to move forward.
Okay. Wow. I'm going to say that was a lot of definitely knowledge dropped just now. So hopefully y'all was paying attention. If anybody is out there and renting, like myself personally, this might get you guys interested in purchasing, having your own, you know, that's super important. Like she was saying, the low APR has something, house prices raised arbitrarily, which you advise waiting to purchase.
Personally, I always advise against waiting to purchase. Okay. There's like this saying in real estate, the best time to buy a house was yesterday, the next best time is tomorrow. And that's not for my well-being, that's for yours. Houses do appreciate, so they are an asset. So even if you're anticipating, oh, the interest rate will go down, oh, this and that, the reason why I tell people don't focus so much on the interest rate, it can change. You can refinance it later.
Okay, right.
As far as like the pricing of homes, a lot of people are, how can I say it? The cost of living is going up. I know houses are getting more expensive.
Keep talking. I never do this.
Houses are getting more expensive, and it seems like, dang, I should wait, but I feel like they are going to go up, especially Maximilian, if you're here in Dallas. People are moving from different places, and to them, this is cheap, like I said, how I felt. So to them, they don't realize houses were so cheap before. This is a value to them. A lot of people are saying that they think there's going to be like this big foreclosure thing. I don't know about that. I can't tell the future. But if you buy a house, I can tell you it will appreciate. It will appreciate. Even if everything goes wrong, if the area around goes wrong, just from owning it for a certain amount of years, it will appreciate in time. So I will move forward. You can move forward with me too. I think she took a bathroom break, but oh yes, Jamie, hey, definitely reach out. I see you and Carlos. I'm very happy for you guys and that his business is successful. So just let me know when you're ready to purchase, or even if you just have questions, like I said, I'll nurture you until you're ready. I don't know if anybody else has questions because my host left me. What artist would I want to have a collaboration with? Ty Dolla $ign. Every record, what did he say? Every record he gets on is on the radio like a Jonas. I like him. And he's from California, so definitely him. Tae Talk for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. So, like I said, appreciate the knowledge you just dropped. We're going to continue the show. And then, like she said, if y'all are interested, if you're in the Dallas area and you're interested in purchasing a home, definitely reach out to Jehnya.
Definitely.
And she's going to help you through every part of the process.
Absolutely.
One thing I did want to talk about is this Travis Scott concert tragedy. What do you have you heard any of the news?
I've been on Facebook a lot today. And yeah, I don't know all the tea, but I guess like a lot of injuries and like deaths are being blamed on him at his concert because he didn't stop performing.
No, he didn't. So if you're not aware, Travis Scott every year has this Astro World Fest. That's pretty much his brand. I believe that might have been his first album. But that's his thing. Everybody knows Travis Scott is Astro World. So at this festival in Houston, his hometown, they had like 50,000 people in attendance. This was Friday night, and as of now, there are at least 8 people dead and over 300 injured.
One thing about me, I can't fix my face. So you were rest in peace to those people.
Nah, for real. Whew. Definitely rest in peace to those people. I'm not sure if this was true. I heard one was a 10-year-old kid. It was a 14-year-old kid.
See, my 10-year-old, let me not say nothing because these are grieving parents, but my 10-year-old would not be there.
I was thinking that,
Unless
but
they're
at the
real
same time,
historians,
I'm
I
gonna just say, like, in some situations, the parents might feel like, you know what, last year was crazy. You know, the kid might be a huge Travis Scott fan.
That's very true because I was fans of a lot of rappers I shouldn't have been fans of.
And that's what I'm saying.
At a
Like,
young
you know,
age.
sometimes your parents want to do something special for you. They might be like, okay, I'm gonna do it this. And you know, imagine now those parents are feeling like,
yeah, sorry parents.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's a perspective too. Some people are feeling like that them kids shouldn't have been
What
there.
did she say?
I wouldn't have my child there as well.
Yeah, like, it's sad to say, you know, because like you said, I'm sure if you spend hundreds of dollars on a concert, you do have good intentions. So it's not to say that they're bad parents, but baby, like the world is getting crazy. It is. The world has been crazy, and now it's televised. How they say, like the revolution.
The revolution is televised. I thought it was really sad. I'm gonna be honest. I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, it was demonic," and I'm gonna say like, I'm a slight conspiracy theorist. What is this? Travis Scott was stealing his fans' energy with this secret portal. I don't know what that word is. CERN. In the background for his human sacrifice, the reason why so many people died. Yeah, so I actually saw this, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know about, you know, rituals and portals and all that type of stuff, but I'm gonna say, I don't know. I do kind of feel like Travis Scott music got a weird element to it because he has such a strong cult-like following.
You want to know a secret?
What?
I never listened to one Travis Scott song.
You have, whether you know it or not.
That might be true. Whether I know that Justin Bieber had a song my little sister liked, and it had Travis Scott. It was a cool song, but I can't think of one of his songs at all. So that's why I'm kind of like so quiet.
Know Travis Scott, but
I know he's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus, and someone else had told me about him being a Taurus.
He has I'm the highest in the room.
It's not ringing any bells. Not at all.
See, that's kind of crazy. I'm gonna say, I know a lot of Travis Scott songs. I feel like to me, Travis Scott, he's one of those people that he has songs where you might not know it's him.
I get what you're saying. I think that that's true for a lot of artists. I don't know. So
I think that people that go from being a producer to an artist, or like somebody that makes beats and engineers to an artist, to me those kind of people are just kind of dangerous. And I just mean that because they're so locked in on what people gravitate towards. So they know how to make those beats that
I never thought about that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a very good point.
Grab somebody's mind.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about all the demonic stuff. I don't know if Travis Scott opened a portal to hell at the Astrofest, but definitely rest in peace to those people that succumbed to their injuries. A lot of people said it was drugs involved, but the people that I saw interviewed made sure to definitely elaborate that they were sober and that this could have happened to anybody, whether it was drugs involved or not. It was actually an ER nurse that was on the News 11 in Houston talking about it, and she was like, you know, I was sober, and the only reason I didn't die is because my boyfriend pretty much had to grab her and take her out of there. But she said it was too many people. Like, she couldn't turn her head, like, you couldn't really move your arms. Yeah, it was packed like sardines.
So I don't know how it went, but I will say, like, I have been to a lot of festivals, and, like, you know, when you're younger, you do the most. So I do know that feeling of, like, being super in front and being packed like that and feeling, like, claustrophobic. So I don't know exactly what happened. I'm not going to act like I do, but I have seen, like,
50,000 people.
There are some artists, though, and I hate to play devil's advocate, but there are some artists that their fan base is like that. I don't know if that's the case with him because I don't listen to his music, but one artist I know for sure, their fan base is That's true, Shanicia. I do know Goosebumps.
Okay, so you do know the
Yeah.
song where he tried to play.
Yeah, but Tyler, the Creator, his fan base is very dangerous.
Okay, they're similar. Like
Yeah, because I remember that I went to, I don't know what concert, but some kind of not Rock the Bells, something though, some kind of festival in California. And I had to leave because people were getting hit. Nobody died, or I'm sure we would have heard about it. People were fighting, like doing mosh pits, like in his thing. So I don't know if that's how his fan base is. If it was a cult thing, that I don't know, but some people's fan base is like that.
No, I don't mean like it's a literal cult. I just mean a cult-like following.
That's how Odd Future was, though. Do you remember when they came out 2012,
absolutely.
2013, and he was like promoting
you know
a lot of devil
saying?
worship stuff too?
It's so interesting with these type of artists because Travis Scott is more commercialized, more popular, but with these artists, you never hear their music on the radio. Like I've never heard Tyler the Creator on the radio. And it's the same thing with like an NBA YoungBoy. He's the highest streamed YouTube artist.
I do like him.
But I've never heard his music on the radio.
Neither.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, these people have these cult-like followings that are actually like beyond mainstream. And that's crazy.
You know what's funny? I saw somebody like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old have an NBA YoungBoy birthday party.
I think I saw that.
I said, what the heck?
To me, I'm like, that's more
That
the
is
parent.
very
That's
cult
more the
following,
parent
though.
wanting to do that kind of
but
thing.
I didn't think it was bad. It's like what you said. Like, how are you reaching all these people when you're not on the radio?
Yeah.
I guess his dad, maybe, I don't know, but.
Well, I think you talking about Travis Scott?
No, I was talking about NBA YoungBoy.
Oh, their parents.
The birthday party.
Well, yeah, obviously their parents must play it, but yeah, I agree. Like these people they have these strong fan bases. So you're saying Tyler the Creator, stuff like this happens at his concerts as well?
Definitely. I would never go to, even when I like I like him, like how he works with Pharrell a lot, and I was like, yeah, I like Pharrell. There's some people, like, even if you don't like their music or you don't like their personality, and honestly, my best friend in high school, Imani, she loved Tyler the Creator, so she really put me on to him. I didn't really have a choice. But it's some people, they're so talented, you can't really deny it, but their fans are crazy. Like,
okay.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
His fans are crazy, so that's why I'm saying, like, maybe it wasn't,
I didn't really know Travis Scott had that kind of fan base.
well, he had a McDonald's meal, so I'm guessing he do have some crazy.
How did a McDonald's meal correlate to him having death at his concert?
People want to buy into him. Like, think about like how obsessed you have to be to go to McDonald's and get a meal after somebody.
Sweetie had a meal too.
I didn't get her meal either. I bet.
You know what? And it's kind of crazy because it's like, what's the standards or like what's the stipulations to get a McDonald's meal? Because how do Travis Scott and Sweetie got one? They're not on the same level. Like, sorry, you know what I'm saying? Love Sweetie, attractive, couple good songs, but her and Travis Scott not on the same level. Like,
I agree with that. But it's like you mentioned to me, like, oh, you need to get on social media. She's like a social media master. So if they're wanting more, presence on social media, then I would get them wanting her. And then something else too is her brand is very high maintenance. And a lot of bougie people don't like McDonald's. Like, I don't eat McDonald's. Mm-hmm. So that might make you, if you see your girl Sweetie on there, you might be like, she's promoting Birkin, she's promoting all these high value brands, and then you get to tie in and be associated with that. Everything she promotes it's fancy, it's expensive. Okay, all this stuff. Fair. So I could see them wanting to be associated with an expensive look because they're cheap, they're McDonald's. Like,
Okay. I actually never thought about it like that. That's a good point. Okay, real quick, and we're gonna do some Am I the Asshole because we only got a few minutes left. Do you think that Travis Scott is to blame for all this chaos that has ensued?
No.
Do you think he should be
and I don't even
subject to lawsuits?
No. I think if anything, even if they wanted to blame and sue someone, I guess it could be him like down the line, but technically if they're saying the issue was that it was so packed that it caused all these injuries, whoever the promoters were or the ticket sellers, those are the people that oversold it. Or that say we have this much space for this much people at Astroworld and decide that.
I think should have been way more security.
That's a good point, but again, that's still not his job. So all of these things that it could be, okay, well, if it's not a cult, then it's his fault. it's still not his job to do security. It's not his job to do capacity. It's not his job
Well, in a way it is,
to
though,
enforce an
because-
age limit.
In a way it is, because this is his tour. This is different from a promoter having a club and saying, Travis Scott, I want you to come here. This is him organizing, him and his team organizing this and going to the venue and the promoter saying, hey, we want to work with you guys.
So here's what I'll say. I have Jehnya LLC.
Okay.
And I'm Jehnya. I don't think Travis Scott LLC, I don't think Travis Scott should be responsible. But maybe Travis Scott LLC could be responsible. Does that make sense?
It does.
Him as a business,
Yeah.
he may be responsible. Personally, as a person, do I feel like it's all his fault? No. Because like you said, even if it's up to him and his team, those delegations, I'm sure, were for his team to figure out, not for him.
But at the same time, with you having Jehnya LLC, you are going to be held completely responsible because it's your name. So it's Travis Scott LLC, then yeah, I'm looking at you. I don't know all these other, I don't know the promoter. I don't know your stage manager. I don't know the security company. I know Travis Scott. So if something go wrong with this house, I don't know all the other people. I know Jehnya.
So here's what I'll say, and this is like good education for LLC.
Okay.
So like I said, I have Jehnya LLC and then I'm Jehnya. So I have a bank account Jehnya LLC and then I have a bank account Jehnya. If my bank account Jehnya has $1,000 and my bank account Jehnya LLC has 50 cents and there's something going on with the house that I did wrong, would never. And I did wrong and they want to sue me for $3,000 and it's not in Jehnya LLC, they can't sue me. I mean, they can. But they're getting 50 cents. They're not getting the 1,000 in my account.
Okay.
So
I got you.
I get that the media is going to portray it as him, but
Right.
if it came down to a legal thing, like you said, some people want to sue, they're going to have to sue him as a business, not as a person, because as a person, he was probably just responsible to rehearse, be in good health, and be there, not responsible for all the other things. So I'm sure his business, though, can cover it, but I don't really... He's so big, maybe they could get some money. I don't know. You know how it'd be like a slip and fall, but...
But you don't personally think that he's responsible?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And I might feel different if I was one of those people or one of those people's families, but, you know, it is one of those things. It's a big space. Anything can happen. Anything can happen when you're around thousands of people.
Yeah, I think 50,000 people... I mean, I've never been to one of these.
50,000, yeah. Makia said 50,000. So what would happen if someone had a gun in there, or had, not even a gun, because I know you would say, oh, security. Maybe they had a glass bottle, broke the glass bottle, went around cutting people. Security should have done it. Like, it's only so much.
I'm going to say 50,000 people. And I guess that's common for these festivals like Rolling Loud and... like you said, what's the other one you said?
Rock the Bells
Rock
or
the
Pay
Bells.
Dues.
I guess that's common. I think 50,000 people is just like really way too many
Maybe
people.
it was for the space. I'm not familiar with where they have it.
I believe it was outdoors. So, you know, whatever the case is. Anyway, let's move on. Let's do a couple Am I the Asshole? We only got like 10 minutes before the interview is over or before the episode is over. So let's get Jehny's opinion. We're going to give some advice to these people on Reddit that obviously need it. These are people that have sought out the opinion of random strangers on the internet. So they are in dire need of some good advice. So let's jump right into it. Llama, what you got for us? And this will give people a chance to get in your brain. Am I the asshole for wanting to go to the funeral of a girl that I helped get addicted to drugs? I'm 26 and clean from heroin for 3 years. I was also a piece of shit and used to deal for a while. I managed to get with a beautiful girl named Marcy. When I first started getting into the thick of things, she knew who I was, but she said she loved me. I will regret this for the rest of my life, but I was the person who shot up Marcy for the first time. After that, there was no stopping her. She stuck around with me probably because I was her dealer more than anything, but then I got clean, and I never saw her for a long time. A year ago, she reached out to me on Facebook and told me that she had been clean for a few months. And she said that she didn't hate me for what happened and she hoped I was still clean. Last week, I got a call from my sister who told me that she saw on Facebook that Marcy had OD'd and there was a funeral service this upcoming Thursday. I immediately just burst into tears because I hope this would never happen and I feel so much guilt over it. I want to go to the funeral service for her, but I'm afraid that my presence would be unwanted. At the most, I would just slip in the back, pay my respects, and leave. I need to do this for myself. Am I the asshole for wanting to go? Okay, hold on. So just so you know, the ratings are you're the asshole, not the asshole, no assholes here, and everyone sucks here. So now you can go ahead and render your verdict.
Say that again? Not the asshole.
You're the asshole, no assholes here, and everyone sucks here.
I feel like everyone sucks here.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I do. I feel like addiction is a very tricky thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've known people, been related to people that have struggled with addiction, and I just feel like, you know, just, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why it's such a big deal for him to go. I don't know. I wish that he would have added if the family made him feel unwelcome, or if this was his own internal feelings, because maybe not everybody's the asshole. Maybe nobody is. I don't know. But I do feel like at the end of the day, with addiction, it's like a mental thing. So, you know, unfortunately, he was the first person to introduce her to that. But she had her own troubles, like letting it go. So I do feel like even with the bad things in our life, that's something you have to take accountability. And her family can't fully blame him, because he did get sober and they stopped talking for a good amount of time. Not everyone has the same capability to like stop doing drugs, but I do feel like it's still everyone's own responsibility to try. And it's not to say she didn't try, but I don't think that he shouldn't be welcome there from something several years ago.
I think he would be the asshole. Specifically, it would be different if she died in a car accident. It would be different if she committed suicide even. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she died from overdose specifically, and maybe she would have got on drugs if she never met him. Maybe somebody else would have introduced her. But the fact is, and the way I would be looking at it, if that was, I don't have any kids, but if that was my daughter, I would imagine if that was one of my family members, I imagine I would feel like this wouldn't have happened if she never met you.
I do agree with that. I think everybody on this is going to have a different opinion. That's why I feel like it's kind of a stupid question to ask online, because it's an opinion. It's not like red, green, yellow. But for me personally, depending on, you know, the situation, like I said, now if she would have overdosed with him, then hell yeah, like you shouldn't be there. But the fact that she overdosed so many years later, I feel like you continue to do recreational drugs for a long time after this person introduced you.
That's fair.
So
you say everyone sucks because she shouldn't have been on drugs?
I say everyone sucks because the situation sucks. I don't actually think every person sucks.
So you say not the asshole then? You don't think he's the asshole?
I'll say not. I don't think he's an asshole.
Okay.
What I will say though about funerals, I think our society needs to stop making funerals such a big deal. Like, if you believe in spirituality, that person is still there. I know everybody needs closure, but sometimes things do happen in families where, say maybe he knows, oh, I have to go to pay my respect. But say you're the mother, you said if this was my child. Sometimes it's nicer to honor the deceased family member's request, whether it's right or not. I don't think it makes him an asshole. That's why I said not the asshole. But if you know this girl's mother doesn't want you there, get your own peace and your own closure at home. Cry at home. It doesn't matter.
Well, and that's kind of why I feel like he is the asshole, because the last thing he said was, I need to do this for me. And I just feel like...
Oh, so you feel like he's selfish?
I do. I feel like you know that there's a possibility that her family may not want you there. Don't even bother. Just get your closure your own way. Okay, but hold on. Let's hop into another one. You say not the asshole. I say you are definitely the asshole.
If it was me, I wouldn't go.
Okay.
But I don't think he's a bad person for wanting to go.
I can agree with that. Let me give me another one real quick. We got about 5 minutes. Let's see. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance/college money? All right. This person says, my sister is a 27-year-old female. I'm an 18-year-old female. We lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. Mom was never admired my sister's life. Dad left money for me and my sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house that I live in with my aunt because my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college tuition. Excuse me. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about Dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral, only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. I distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition. He's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and in need of a surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery, and she'd pay back in less than a year. I felt uneasy, because if I give her my money for my inheritance, which is a large amount, there's no guarantee she'll pay it back before it's time to apply for college. I'm taking a gap year, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt it was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel, and with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority, and that I need to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I would be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming and guilt-tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family telling me that this is what I was saying no to, a happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried. I felt like I was being selfish and not a good aunt and sister. I asked my friend, and he said let them sell the cars and all the luxury stuff they bought to afford the surgery. And he warned me if I give them the money, I'll never get it back and may not be able to go to medical school. Am I the asshole?
Not only is she not the asshole, her sister is the asshole.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think the sister in this situation is the asshole?
Yeah, like honestly, you didn't even have to read the full thing. I just wasn't gonna be rude. It was so many like red flag.
Okay.
Like number one, like you were the older sister. I'm
Absolutely.
the older sister. Number two, this girl is 18. Girl, like you're a woman and this is a girl. You should not be asking for her to take accountability for your, for your family.
Yeah.
That's a big thing to ask of an 18-year-old.
It is.
And health, even though it is very important and they are family, health is like, you don't know if that's really going to help him, because she said in the beginning that he has all these chronic health issues.
Yeah.
So who is to say that this one thing is going to get him up into being a productive husband and dad? You have chronic health issues, like. So, no, I feel like it's very selfish of her sister to drop hints or ask, given that she's the older sister. I hate when older siblings or parents or older people in the family put these pressures on younger children.
Right. And it was manipulative. Like when she said,
and sending
her
pictures.
Yeah, that made me so mad. Like, bro.
Don't do that to people. Like,
and she's 18, like she's a kid. Of course, that's going to make her feel bad.
Right. And so I just feel like her approach about it was terrible. I feel like, start a GoFundMe. I don't know. Exactly. Be glad that I'm not your sister, because I would have told you about yourself. That's so selfish.
Yeah.
Even if she didn't want to go to school, she does have her future ahead of her. She wanted to buy a house, whatever. Honestly, Shanicia, I think, said get a second mortgage on her house. Do something.
Yeah. Or like her friend said, sell those luxury cars that you bought.
Sell your house.
Sell something. Yeah, but don't ask this 18-year-old girl, your little sisters, to put her future on the line.
Exactly.
For your husband, because y'all can still get divorced as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate you for coming on the show, dropping those gems. Everything has just been on point, from the motivation to the conversation about everything. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
The Black Podcast Show. Would love to have you on again.
Oh wait, let me give my phone number.
Okay, go ahead.
So 469-777-9534 is my real estate line. Again, it's 469-777-9534. You can feel free to call me or text me if it's business related, for mortgage or for real estate, and I will be happy to help you out. I'm also going to be licensed in California and Georgia pretty soon, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So I know y'all heard her dropping all those gems. Like she said, if you're looking to buy a house, get a loan officer first.
Yes.
And she can help you with that. This is Jehnya. I'm Auchante. This is the Black Podcast Show. Of course, I'm going to be back again next Sunday. In the meantime, make sure y'all go ahead and follow her on Facebook, Instagram, call that number, and you know what I'm saying? Let's just all help each other elevate.
Absolutely.
All right. See y'all next week.
See you next week.
At the Irie place.
Oh, look, it's the Irie place.